Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 238.
238.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Today we will be talking about Florida, California, and Disneyland Paris area. So MEI can book all of that all around the world. They're Disney specialists. And we have, like next week, we're going to have the Not So Scary Halloween party. That's all we're going to talk about next week. And they can, help you with those bookings too. If you book a package through them or a room. And so also we have the Epcot Food and Wine Festival coming.
So much stuff.
I know, it's crazy.
So be sure to check them out for all your travel needs. This week we're going to start at the Magic Kingdom.
So Jeff went to the Magic Kingdom. I was at Jiko. I was at a magical dining event, which I'm going to talk about for a few minutes.
Look at how you're smiling. You don't
I
know,
had such a good time.
Huge smile. And this is what I had to deal with, this wonderful weather. But actually, it was so good. I had a great time. I had not seen the Rainy Day Cavalcade in quite some time, and I just happened to luck into this. This was actually the Move It, Shake It version, the late afternoon. I guess it was after
like
7
o'clock.
o'clock. Yeah. So it was really cool to see this. And, it wasn't raining too hard, so with the help of the umbrella, I was able to get some fun video.
And I don't know that I've ever seen this. They look like Paddington Bear costumes, the cast members. But it was really fun to see the video afterwards, and you see like Mickey and Minnie and Goofy here dressed in their Move It, Shake It costumes. I had no idea. I don't think I knew there was a Rainy Day Cavalcade for the Move It, Shake It celebration.
I definitely didn't know. This was news to me. And you have Nick and Judy from Zootopia. I mean, again, all the characters that are normally in Move It, Shake It. I think I might prefer this sometimes to Move It, Shake It.
Is it a little quieter? Like, was it quieter?
Well, yeah. They're singing. The song is "Singing in the Rain."
Oh.
And after last week's great movie ride, goodbye. How perfect was that to hear some singing in the rain with these characters?
And I looked at the video and I didn't remember what song it was, so I'll have to look at that again. And there is Genie. I don't think I've ever seen this. I didn't know it happened, so why don't we go in the rain? Like, we should.
We're spoiled. We're locals.
Yes,
we are told we should go in the rain more often. Anyway, another cool thing that I discovered was they have Halloween stuff all ready for sale at the Magic Kingdom displays and merchandise, of course.
Well, as we're talking, we're 5 days away from the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, which is why that's going to be our next show as well. We're going to be at the first two of them. I can't believe it's in 5 days because it's 90 degrees out.
Yes, it'll be a sweltering party, that is for sure. But the merchandise this year is outstanding. I think this is my favorite year in a long time for the merchandise. So
I have seen the video, but I like you said the most popular one, like on when you put up.
Oh, the Haunted Mansion Nightmare Before Christmas posters, and we'll see that. I will buy that. That is a no-brainer for me.
I will say for the parties, they're going, and not just the parties, but for Halloween itself, they're going to have some cool food items as well. So not only can get candy, but you can buy all these fantastic looking treats.
Well, there's some treats here in Mr. Pumpkin Man. I think he's got too many treats, though.
He probably does. And there is Goofy. He almost looks like a spooky bellhop, but yeah. I'm not really sure what they're going for.
Very much a Tower of Terror look. And those signs that say new arrival, this just in, that is new. I don't recall seeing that before.
They've had them for a very short period of time, and I've noticed that sometimes when it says new arrivals, they're not always as new as this is. So, but anyway, it just is telling you that there's Halloween.
And of course, you remember these guys, they used to be in the window on Main Street.
I wonder if they'll put them, but probably not back in the window. I mean, they've had also Goofy and, or Donald and Pluto in the windows as well. So we'll see what happens. And there is Mickey Mouse.
And I love this. This is a nice Halloween 2017 logo. Glows in the dark.
Well, it's nice to see, each year is different. So they don't choose the exact same decorations for the shirts.
But, Mickey seems to like the vampire
theme.
He seems to go quite often. That is nice. I've heard a lot of good feedback for that particular shirt also.
I think I was asked if that glows in the dark, and I don't know if that does. But Minnie usually likes to be a witch.
Yeah. So they don't often change. I'd love to see the characters change up their costumes. That is the shirt. I must have that. That is a great shirt for me. And
I wonder if they'll have it in California. Not only that shirt, but like they could put a Haunted Mansion holiday, design on it as well. And that almost looks like a Charlie Brown Halloween.
Well, if history is any indication, I would guess that in California, a lot of this will be very, very similar.
Oh, I totally expect that. But it would be nice if it said like Haunted Mansion Holiday, because I would want a shirt that says Haunted Mansion Holiday. They don't usually have much merchandise for that.
So we'll have to hold off then and perhaps get a Haunted Mansion Holiday stretching portraits out in California.
Well, we don't know if they'll have that.
Well, I see you're building up false hope.
No, I said they probably won't have it, but anyway, there is a mug, and I don't know what that is. What is that?
I have no
idea. It looks like a bank almost, or a candle, a fake candle.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what all this stuff is. And they do take your pass holder discount, by the way, so you can get 20% off if you're a Walt Disney World annual pass holder.
Right. I don't know how long that goes for. We also have the extra dining discount, but I don't know if that ends in September or if they're going to continue that. I hope they'll continue it.
Well, it started October 1st last year, I guess, for the 45th anniversary. So I guess, as you said, we shall see.
We will see. And we get our good discount out in California now that we're pass holders there as well.
That's right. So anyway, that's about it. We're almost done with the merchandise preview. There's some yummy candy there.
Yes, and I always like the little designs on these candy bags. But anyway, are you ready for Halloween?
Yes, I am fully ready for Halloween.
It's
of course,
too hot.
while I was over here
too hot
at the
for
Magic
Halloween.
Kingdom, we had mentioned that you went to Jiko. Why don't you tell me about that?
So I was invited to go to Jiko for Visit Orlando's Magical Dining Month. This is the first year ever that Walt Disney World restaurants have been on it, and 6 of them are. Now, Magical Dining Month goes from the 25th of August till October 1st. Jiko is the only signature dining location. This is the menu. $35 per person, and then you get an appetizer, entree, and dessert.
And all of the Magical Dining restaurants are $35. Is that correct?
Yes. So if you go to Boat Rights, it's $35. However, I would go to Jiko. So Jiko, again, is a signature location, and the food here is fantastic. I haven't eaten here in years, but I think we will be going back for this.
Well, I can vouch for the food quality. Denise was nice enough to bring me back leftovers, and it was wonderful.
So I had the Jiko salad, and that includes Epcot Land Pavilion greens, stone fruit, and then an apricot ginger dressing. There was one other appetizer to choose from. It is a set menu. And then I had the beef short rib. There was also 2 other items. One of the other items, West African coqui corn, is a vegan item, I believe. So, you know, it does cater to quite a few different people. And then I had also the safari sunset dessert.
And I think we're seeing that right now.
That's what we're seeing. And then also there is a malva pudding, which looks like a bird on a nest. And I tried that, and that was very good. I ordered what I did so that I could take half home. So the Magical Dining Month, again, goes until October 1st. I can't recommend Jiko enough on this. And then because you're saving so much money...
Well, tell them how much it would have cost if you had bought all of this a la carte.
It would have... The beef short rib, when I looked at the menu, because I went outside and looked at it, was like $55. So when I added up the 3 items, it was like $80.
So that is a tremendous bargain for $35.
And my meal was the same amount of food as I would have had if I had ordered it just regular off the menu. So I'm just going to go with that, as far as I'm assuming that it will always look like that. And I had such a great time, and the food was excellent. And if you're going to be at Walt Disney World, let's say for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival time period, I recommend making a reservation at Jiko and telling them you want the Magical Dining Month menu if you think that you might want that food.
And I understand some of the proceeds goes to charity?
Yes, $1 from every meal. So check out Magical Dining Month. Just Google it. It's on the Visit Orlando site. And there's also restaurants at Disney Springs like STK and Paddlefish, as well as at the Swan and Dolphin, and another like 100 restaurants around Orlando.
Save your appetite.
And speaking of other restaurants around Orlando, we went to Rock Brews Oviedo. We were there just over 2 years ago for their grand opening event. And they had a special event this time because there's a new location in Orlando. So they were here to honor veterans before they went off to that other location near the airport.
And there is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of KISS, and you just saw them with some of the employees. And you know, every day in the morning they start off their day with the Pledge of Allegiance, which I thought is really cool. They do a lot for veterans there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here's Gene and Paul just having some fun. And you know, the first time we did this a couple years ago, I was so nervous because I'm a huge KISS fan, and to be able to interview them and everything, it was just it was the only time I've ever been nervous doing this, and it was much easier this time, although it's still difficult when you're dealing with your your heroes, I guess, when you're big fans of something.
They are who Jeff is the biggest fan of, like, in the whole wide world. So, but we're going to talk a little.
I am a fan of the food. I am a big fan. The ribs here, I would say the best ribs in Orlando by far. Fantastic.
And that was a surprise to me when we first went to Rock Brews is only like 5 years old or just over 5 years old now. So when we were there last time, it was maybe a 2.5-year-old restaurant, and I had never heard of it. And so I didn't know what to think of as far as the food. But if you go there, the airport location or the Oviedo location, and eventually they're going to expand into other areas here too. And they're also in like California and Texas. The food is actually very good, and that was a big surprise to me.
Yeah, phenomenal. Plus, they have a great beer selection. There's Paul holding up one of the craft beers. They have a lot of local craft beers, so, something for everybody. Dog-friendly also.
It is. They bring, not usually into the restaurants, but most of the restaurants are... like you can have your dog outside, and I think they have the special menu,
dog menu, absolutely.
Yeah. But Jeff is on this first name basis with Gene and Paul.
Well, Gene says that the humans can eat anything off the dog menu, no problem.
Is that true? I don't even remember that.
He would not steer me wrong, I'm sure. But this was great too, where they have this was a veterans benefit that we're at now, and they donated a nice amount of money to the local veterans.
Well, not only, I mean, they meet them and they put on a luncheon for them. And then they give them a check. And the Orlando location on that day was having a fundraiser, which is, where some of that money came from to do all of this.
Right, and we briefly stopped into the event over in Orlando. They had another big check there, so, it's awesome what they do. I think Paul said that they have been to every opening for the veterans. They've met veterans at every single restaurant opening, and they will continue to do that.
Well, there's 20 restaurants now, and they're continuing to open them, so I just think it's nice that they're so involved in their restaurant, where they, will come and they'll meet not just the veterans, but also the employees. And then we got to talk to them. So I thought that was very nice. They were there all day.
So as you mentioned, we had a very quick stop at the Rock Brews in Orlando. And this was the big charity event. I really wanted to stop there to see people like this dressed up in full regalia. And there's a shout out to our good friend Jerry. There he is. They always make it, especially Gene always comments on his shirt. Very rare material on that shirt. So hi to Jerry out there. And it was an awesome time again, and we even ended up on the front page of the KISS website. So all in all, it was a perfect experience.
Your videos that you did.
Second time, though.
That was very nice.
So anyway, awesome time at Rock Brews. Now we're going to talk about the Warner Brothers. We're going to go to Hollywood and talk about the Warner Brothers studio tour in Hollywood, California.
So there's a lot we haven't shown from California yet. While we were there, we took the Warner Brothers Studios tour, actually a private tour. We were invited to do this. And this was something that we have been wanting to do really for a long time. And we got to see some really great scenes like this Midwest Street.
Well, Midwest Street was awesome. There's so many things you know, but you don't know where you know it from. And we're going to let a little film clip here tell you just what I'm talking about.
Midwest Street is probably the most familiar set on the Warner Brothers lot. Midwest Street was turned into River City, Iowa for the film version of the Broadway musical The Music Man, starring Robert Preston. The town square also stood in as Salinas, California for this film, East of Eden, starring James Dean. And those are the same storefront facades that were recently used as the backdrop for this scene from Clint Eastwood's Jersey Boys. It's for real casual. In this motion picture, Frankie Valli kept lookout for his friends in front of this small market. And that small market was used as Lucky Leon's cupcake shop on the TV series Pretty Little Liars. You'll see Midwest Street on a lot of television shows. In fact, it was turned into all of Stars Hollow for the hit series Gilmore Girls. Now, it doesn't snow much here in Southern California, unless the story calls for it. Then the art department brings it in by the truckload. Of course, this isn't real snow, because this scene was shot in the middle of summer.
Isn't that pretty incredible that they've used it for so many different things? It is also the largest backlot set at Warner Brothers. And right there is Rosewood High School, but it also, I believe it's the Gilmore Girls High School and they did Grease Live there, and
Would
we
that
went
be
inside.
Rydell High School?
Rydell High School, yes. So
Yeah,
that was really fun.
Indeed, we did go inside, but again, I'm just doing a quick pan so you can see some of these backlot areas that you can recognize from all those little clips we just saw.
I just, it's just so interesting. Like I have never seen The Music Man, so that's something that I still have to see. But we went into the high school, and this is where Grease Live was filmed, and I believe that was last year.
So that's showing the difference. Sometimes, like, that's a real locker if you're shooting wanting to show inside a locker, but the other one was a locker so you can show what it looks like if you open it from the inside. It was interesting, and here's how the walls move so easily, so it's quite interesting to go inside to see these sets.
I really, I just really enjoy this because so many, it's even like Disney's Hollywood Studios now, it doesn't do filming.
At
but
all,
here,
right.
This is really a film lot, and they're filming all the time. And there's just so much history that has happened here, but it's continuing to make history because in 30 years they'll be like, oh, Grease Live was filmed here.
Well, speaking of recent history, we got to see La La Land, the cafe, and look at this. Look who's shooting today. Mousesteps.
So this was reconstructed. It was shot here, but they had to reconstruct it on this day. Not on this day, but on this day we were here. And they recreated it just for the studio tour so that everybody can get out and kind of be part of La La Land, which was just a fantastic movie. And I guess they shot here about 2 years ago. And this was just a fun stop for me.
Right. And we were told it's one of the favorite stops. They're going to extend it, actually.
Yeah, as far as they're going to extend the time frame. Because everything does, I don't want to say everything, but a lot of things can switch out here.
It's a working studio.
Right. And so this is DC University exhibit. And this was another highlight for us. There were many highlights on this tour. I really had such a great time. And this is a real Wonder Woman costume. Now, when we were here, the Wonder Woman exhibit within this area had not yet opened. It is open now, and I really want to see it.
Also in the same building is the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts display.
And it was sort of interesting because we were going to Universal after this, so they have Harry Potter over there as well. But you can see, everything that we're looking at is real props and real costumes. Not a real spider, but really from the films.
That's right.
He was from the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or she. And then we have school uniforms worn in the Harry Potter films.
So the next stop was the Car Vault.
So this is called the Picture Car Vault, which is transformed into the Batcave. And then they have a series of Batmobiles. And you and a friend of ours really enjoyed this one.
Oh, I loved it. I love seeing all these Batmobiles. Not only Batmobiles, but Batcopters and Batmotorcycles and all this stuff all in one place. It was pretty awesome. As a matter of fact, we had such a good time. We stopped in Hollywood on the way back after this at the Barris to see one of the original Batmobiles. So it completed the Bat Day.
So these begin with the 1989 film Batman with Michael Keaton, and then you have Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, the Dark Knight trilogy, and then Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. So you have cars from all of those films.
Well, again, I loved it. We'll continue to look at some of these awesome Batmobiles, but let's talk about the rest of the tour.
Well, we didn't do the prop department tour. So that is something that is on the regular tour with 450,000 registered artifacts. And that is something definitely that it would be nice for us to go back and just kind of see how a regular tour operates.
I agree, and there's just so much history there.
Right, and the studio lot was built in 1926, and the water tower has been there since 1927. And a lot of what you'll see, there's 10 backlots, 30 sound stages, and 110 acres total. You won't see all of that, but there's quite a bit you do get to see on the tours.
Well, this is fairly new here, the Stage 48 script to screen. This is the actual Friends couch, which you can sit on. We did sit on that.
Yes, and also they have a Central Perk coffee shop, and I thought that was pretty reasonable.
Also, there was the Art of Sound and visual effects displays, all sorts of fun things to do at the very end of the tour. So I loved it.
And our guide, Jake, was fantastic, and we had asked him just to give us the tour options because I wasn't sure what they were, and here they are.
So we offer the 2-hour tour of the studio where you get to see the backlot sets, sound stages, and also classic props, costumes, and cars from our big blockbuster movies. There's also Monday through Friday the deluxe tour, which is a 5-hour tour of the studio, more in depth with some of the history, some of the production and post-production space, and also lunch at the executive dining room and the commissary is included in that. You can find all the information at our website.
That sounds awesome. We'll have to do the extended tour next time we're there.
I would love to.
Anyway, so now we're going to go from Hollywood to France. Our good friend Curious Axel has some very exciting news. Big news. So here is Mr. Curious Axel.
Hi guys, I know it's been a while, but I'm so happy to announce you the amazing news that we had at the... What do you mean? You mean just a hotel? Really? Nothing else? Just a hotel. So we're here inside of the Hotel New York, still in the way it looked like 25 years ago. So really, nothing has changed. We have seen the concept art, so the suits of armor should go right over there. Some props. A lot is going to change here. But for the moment it still looks like this. Just for one detail. Just a very little hallway has changed inside the hotel, and we are going to go check it out. Come on. So these are the hallways as they are now. A bit yellow, green, an apple on the door, and then just a bit farther we're here in a whole different world. And these are, or this is going to be the newer. There's still some apples on the door, but they're about to change, you know. We're going from this to this. This is what the new hotel is supposed to look like. Unfortunately, we're not able to go inside, so I wish I could see the rooms, but until now I can't do better than this. So this is what is about to change, and it doesn't look that bad. It looks quite good. I don't know what to say about it, so maybe we should go see somebody who does have an opinion on this. Well, we come to... No, very good. We come to congratulate you.
Oh, yeah.
Soon you will have your own hotel here at Disneyland Paris with all the Malver Hillers here in Hotel New York.
Oh, you're
That will be awesome. You will have your own hotel.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What's next? Your own rides?
I know. Maybe my own bar. Oh, that could be cool now.
That would be cool. That would be amazing.
I want it.
Having a Spider-Man ride here in Paris.
You gave me a really good idea.
That will be...
SpiderMan Pop. SpiderMan Land.
SpiderMan Land. That's even cooler than a hotel.
Yeah.
So we know about the future about Disneyland Paris. You just want to have a Spider-Man Land. That's awesome, man.
Oh, the future is going to be cool for sure.
I know it's going to be cool for sure. We're looking forward to that. Thank you,
really.
Spider-Man.
I gotta give credit. Axel goes right to the source to get the top news. So once again, Mr. Curious Axel, check out his YouTube channel, Curious Axel on YouTube. Awesome stuff every week.
Yes, thank you very much. And this is the Hotel New York. It will be the Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel. And they have 565 rooms, and they're going to have Marvel props, drawings, and costumes. So we'll see how that is. But we would like to hear more about, you know, attractions and different things for Disneyland Paris too. So I hope those will be announced in the near future.
You know, I see Spider-Man did make it into the picture here, into the concept art. So maybe he has something all along. So it should be a marvelous addition, I'm sure.
So now we're coming back to America.
Yes.
And Buca di Beppo just opened its celebration. I have not been to Buca in quite some time. I think the last time was California.
It was. What a shocker. Right by Disneyland, yes.
So there were a couple things that stand out about this particular Buca di Beppo. One of them is it has windows, and I didn't realize, but only like 2 Buca di Beppos anywhere have windows.
Well, it turns out Buca di Beppo means basement.
I did
not
not know
that.
that.
Yes.
So, I forgot we started with sangria here. We had been invited to come and check this out, and we had a really good time. It's going to certainly be some place that we're going to go on a semi-regular basis.
This is the calamari here. It's actually part of a trio, right? Awesome. I mean, calamari usually is, to me, too fried. This was perfect. And you're looking at some shrimp and some mozzarella. This could have been the meal here for me. I love that. This may have been the highlight already, and we're just getting started.
So this is the Buca Trio. I just want to mention also they have happy hour, and only 2 locations have happy hour as well. And this is the mozzarella caprese with fresh mozzarella and tomatoes, and that was very good as well. Fairly standard. I mean, not, it isn't like it's exceptional to any others, but it's a very nice portion size.
Well, one thing you should remember, and you can quickly tell about the soup.
I really
here.
like the minestrone. They will not have this every day. They have different soups every day. Almost everything here is homemade except for the pasta itself is not. But this was really good, and it was very thick.
Oh, and I keep the goodness keeps coming. We had all these wonderful, refreshing drinks, too.
I think, and I had like 2 sangrias, and there was a sparkling sangria, although I think they ran out of whatever the little jar of the sparkling part of it was that day.
Well, they ran out of it because of us. We ended up with the last
Everybody
one.
drinks it.
But this is what I'm talking about here. When you're at Buca di Beppo, make sure you pay attention to the menu that says it is made to share. It is made for sharing. This video doesn't even show you. These are half-pound meatballs.
Yes, and that's a small.
That is small. Yes,
that is a small portion, and you get 2 half-pound meatballs, and then the spaghetti, and then a brick of lasagna, and that is the smallest.
Picture a loaf of bread. That is the size of this. But because it's so huge, it doesn't mean it isn't good. All of this stuff is great.
Well, I really enjoy the pasta here. I've always liked the pasta at Buca di Beppo. The one thing I didn't like as much, although I did love the sparkling sangria, was the chicken marsala is a little on the sweet side for me. I think it has a little brown sugar in it.
Right.
So that was the only thing that I'm not really into sweet chicken.
It was very sweet. If you don't like brown sugar, you probably wouldn't like that. Let's talk about these desserts. Also, mammoth. We still have some of this.
Right. I put some in the freezer because I don't, it's so hard to show the size of this. But I mean, this is only $10.99, and really you could probably feed 3 to 4 people. And then you have the chocolate cake. And again, I mean, they don't look huge here, but they're huge. And I know a lot of our viewers have been to Buca before, so you know what the sizes are. But this is not that far from the park, so if you have a car, it's really kind of a nice place to just kind of get away from the parks. You're in the celebration area. You're probably like 10 minutes from Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Well, especially if you're DVC and you have a refrigerator, you could feed the family the next day or the day after.
Right, if you're buying, a big lasagna or if you're just going by yourself and then you have like food for days.
Very relaxed, very, very fun atmosphere. I had a great time.
And they also had a brownie sundae, and I thought it was interesting because it was so much like the Planet Hollywood version. And I think the reason is Robert Earl, he owns like both of them, Buca di Beppo and Planet Hollywood, plus Earl of Sandwich. He's part of that as well.
So as we were walking out, I noticed they had a wall of various celebrities that dined at the Buca di Beppo, and this guy looks very suspicious, if you ask me.
And very familiar.
Very familiar. Anyway, we had a great time. We want to thank them for inviting us out, and I'm sure we'll be back very soon.
Once we're done with the leftovers.
Yes, we still have plenty left over here to enjoy.
Thanks to MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Next week, we're going to be talking all about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. The following week, it will be Food Wine Festival. In a few weeks, we're going to be going to Disneyland Halloween. So we're going to be having a lot of Halloween and food coming up. Check out MEI Travel, and they can book a trip either to Walt Disney World, to Disneyland,
Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris. You could stay at the Marvel Hotel in a couple years whenever that's done.
Yes, that's true.
But subscribe to their newsletter. doesn't cost anything to sign up, and you can find out about the best deals around the Disney universe.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Halloween party coming up in a few short days. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of new additions, if any, are there. Meeting all the characters, anything new to the parade. I always look forward to the first party to see what has changed.
New.
Yeah.
Five more days from now. I can't believe that.
Not for the viewer, but for us recording.
Oh, how many days will it be?
Yeah,
4?
Yeah,
I don't know.
something like that. Anyway, a lot of excitement, a lot of good stuff coming up, and of course, Halloween California. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.